Hello, my sisters and brothers in Christ. Once again, we're in the sacristy. We know that this is the workspace behind the altar in the preparation for the sacraments, for the liturgy. We have some of the liturgical books that are in here. We have some of the vestments that are in here, the host and the wine and the vessels that hold them. So this is that workspace that we would prepare. In some ways too, for priests, for deacons, for the altar servers, in preparation, it's almost kind of like that locker room that you would prepare to put on the uniform before like a game. And so I think about that often, like in preparation, if you would go to play football, you have that, there's a mindset that changes, and it's the same thing for us when we put on certain garments or vestments. For me, on the most basic level, I have on what would be like the Roman collar, and this is just an identifiable clothing that people can say, oh, there's a Catholic priest, or there's a priest, I can go talk to him. But you don't see me usually wearing this during the liturgy. What a priest usually puts on first is what's called an alb. And an alb, probably in Jesus' time, he would have had something similar to this as a garment that he would wear in the Middle East. And it just pretty much goes over everything. It covers everything. And then you would put on some of the other vestments that are here. But this is one of those basic garments that we would use in preparation for celebrating the sacraments. You look over here too, this would probably be a little bit more traditional, and you would see this is the old-fashioned cassock and surplice. The cassock really is a house dress that a priest would wear in the seminary or around the house, going back and forth between the rectory and the church. Some of the priests that have been here have worn this, often, or before the liturgies, you'd see them. I find it to be a little bit uncomfortable, so I only wear it at certain times. But this is called the cassock, and then with the cassock, on top of the cassock goes the surplice. Surplice would be often used when in a time of choir, so not just the choir of singing, but when seminarians or priests are in the seminary, there's a time that they pray and chant the psalms back and forth in choir, and they would often wear the cassock and the surplice. So some of you are out there saying, like, Father Joe, back in the day, altar boys always used to wear the cassock and surplice. You might not, you may or may not see these coming in the future here. We're praying about that because we do have the awesome albs that our altar servers use. But specifically for the clergy, for the priests, you would see us wearing a cassock and surplice at possibly during baptisms, possibly during weddings. Otherwise, you'd see us in the alb. But again, back to the basics. Some of these basic clothing and garments that are worn by a priest or clergy. Keep praying for us, and we'll pray for you.